Hola, mis amigos, and welcome to the latest edition of Touching Base. So I was looking at the standings recently and comparing it to what I talked about before the season started. And in the American League, every team that I thought was going to be contending is so far, aside from the National League West. Houston Astros pretty much have that wrapped up as of right now. I don't see any team catching them. They're a very loaded team, and I just kind of see them running away with things. They're, if not the best team in the American League right now, I don't know who's really going to contend with them overall. If you look at the Central, Minnesota has actually really surprised me. I didn't think that they were going to be as good as they are. They're actually in first place, and they actually really got off to a strong start, much stronger than I anticipated. I didn't think Cleveland was going to be as disappointing as they are. They're above 500. The teams that I'm talking about now are all above 500, but there's still something missing from Cleveland. Now, they've been hit with a few injuries to Corey Kluber. He's out for God knows how long. It should be a couple months, but who knows with comebackers, which are balls put in play that head towards the pitcher and he has to make a play. If he doesn't make the play, then it might hit him. So that's what happened with Corey Kluber, and I feel like they overall have good pieces in their rotation without Kluber, but that was a big loss that they had, and until he comes back, they're kind of just sticking around, but they're not taking off the way that I anticipated them doing. I'm gonna keep watching the division to see how it shapes out, but I do see Minnesota taking advantage of the fact that Cleveland isn't at full potential and full strength. In the East, Boston got off to a very slow start, but they were able to right the ship, and they've won a lot of games recently. New York has been ravaged with injuries, the Yankees I'm talking about, and they have been able to right the ship and use their overall roster depth to bring people up from AAA and really do a good job of weathering the storm until their better hitters come back. And Tampa Bay has just gone off. Tampa Bay has had one of the strongest starts of the season that I did not see coming. I did think that they were going to be competitive. I did not see them being as competitive as they are. They are really, really, really good. And most of that is because of their pitching. They may have the AL Cy Young Award winner from last year in their rotation, but at the end of the day, their overall pitching depth has been a very pleasant surprise for me because they used an opener a lot last year. So coming into this year, I didn't really know how much of their rotation they were going to use, how much of their bullpen they were going to use, if it was going to work overall throughout the entire year. I anticipate some bullpen arms who get fatigued from overuse, but I feel that Tampa Bay does a very good job of limiting innings and using their overall pitching staff as opposed to just having specific people who they keep going to. I'm very happy with my personal predictions before the season so far. Like, we're only in May, so it's only a month in, but I feel that the teams that I thought were going to be competitive are, and the teams that I did not think were going to be as competitive still have work that they're doing. But at the end of the day, I'm still seeing a good brand of baseball throughout the sport. We move over to the National League. It's a lot more competitive over there, as I thought would happen. If we look at the West, the Dodgers are on top. They are a powerhouse. They're a really, really good team. They're going to be competitive throughout the year. Cody Bellinger is having an MVP type season, and overall the team has just a lot of depth and some of the deepest pockets in all the sport. So you know that towards the trade deadline, if they need to, they will open up the pocketbooks to bring in somebody to ensure their deep playoff run the way they've done the last couple of seasons, i.e. last year, Manny Machado. I don't know who they would get this season. They look pretty strong already on paper, but this is still the Dodgers. They can pull out the checkbook with the best of them. Arizona and San Diego are two ball clubs that I didn't know how good they were going to be, and they've been pretty exciting to start the year. Manny Machado has definitely invigorated the entire franchise of San Diego, and he's showing them basically how to continuously show effort each day and be competitive, which is something that, funnily enough, he was criticized for before when he was with the Dodgers. You remember in the playoffs, he had the whole Johnny Hustle comment, and a lot of people didn't think that he was the guy to lead a franchise overall. What I'm seeing now in San Diego is a motivated and focused leader of men in Manny Machado, and I hope that he continues to keep doing this, because I would love to see different teams grow, especially San Diego. I'm very excited about Fernando Tatis Jr. and Luis Urias and a lot of the prospects they have coming up, so I feel like they're going to be really fun to watch. But the maturity of Machado is resonating throughout the entire franchise. Moving over to the Central, there are three main teams who are being competitive. Overall, the Reds and the Pirates aren't doing terribly. They're competing and they're barely under 500, but I feel that talent-wise, there's a gap between those two and the big three in the Central, which is the Milwaukee Brewers, Chicago Cubs, and the St. Louis Cardinals. Those three teams are going to be battling it out all season, and honestly, I don't really have any team that I would give a certain edge to. I've seen all three teams go on runs this season, and I've seen all three teams in first place this season. Milwaukee's really strong, Chicago's really strong, St. Louis is really strong, and all three of them, based on the unbalanced schedule, will be beating each other up throughout the entire season. So I really don't know where it's going to end up. I'm just looking forward to seeing competitive baseball each time any of those three match up. Anytime that I see two of the three teams facing off, it's must watch television. Now, the last division I'm going to talk about a little bit is the National League East. The Braves, Phillies, and Mets are all doing well to start their year. Phillies in first place as of today, but overall, the teams are doing well. The only team that is really disappointing me is Washington. Now, the loss of Bryce Harper is obvious. Guy hits you 30 to 40 home runs, drives in 100 RBIs, and is a force in the middle of your lineup. Losing that, not only just losing that, but losing it to a division rival is gonna be a hard loss to make up for. But I feel that even when they had him, they weren't doing well, and I'm kind of starting to believe it's the manager's fault. The managers of the Major League Baseball teams' job are to get the most out of the talent that they have in front of them. Nobody wants to hear about injuries. Nobody wants to hear about, oh, this person isn't doing well, this person isn't doing well. At the end of the day, your job is to get the most out of who you have in front of you. Everybody goes through injuries. So the Nationals have just been a disappointing team for the last 18 months. More than that, if you trace back a few seasons, they didn't make the playoffs last year. And even when they make the playoffs, they get bounced in the first round. So there has to be something in Washington that can get changed for them not only to get over the hump, just to change things up. They changed their manager multiple times. That hasn't done anything. They've brought in players, let go of players, traded. Like, regardless, there's something about this franchise that leaves a bad taste in your mouth if you're a Nationals fan, because at the end of the day, there's no success record in Washington. Every single time they've made it to the playoffs, they've been bounced in the first round, and the years that they don't make it to the playoffs, they barely get to 500. There's got to be something going on, and I don't know if it's the GM, I don't know if it's specifically this manager. There's been other managers who can't solve the problem, but overall, something needs to be fixed in Washington, because they have too much talent to not be winning series the way that they should be. Overall, I'm happy in the way that the season has started, in that you're seeing a good product each night. A lot of youth is being invigorated into the game, and it's giving it life. The NBA has done a very good job in marketing their marquee players, especially their younger players. And I feel that Major League Baseball is slowly starting to get on this same wave. If you look at Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Fernando Tatis Jr., two rookies who just came in this season, there's a lot of excitement and buzz even before they even started playing about them making it to the show, and they've already debuted. Both are getting their feet wet and they're both showing their capabilities, and I'm very excited to see where they keep going. But I feel that overall the sport needs to do more of this. Use your young players to excite fans overall. There's a lot of young kids who look for role models in sports, and this is the perfect opportunity to show some of the most talented individuals also being some of the younger players, to give kids more motivation to continue pursuing the sport, because anybody can be good at it if you have the focus and the determination. I want to wrap up this video today talking about my favorite player right now, which is Mr. Joey Gallo. What I love about Joey Gallo is that this man is a pure slugger. He does not get away from his game. He knows what he gets paid to do: hit bombs. That's it. He gets paid to hit home runs and drive in runs. This man hit 100 career home runs before he got 100 career singles. What does that mean? That means that this man has figured out, regardless of if the team is shifting and trying to give him a free base hit the other way, this man is just going up there with one singular approach of trying to hit the ball as absolutely hard as he can. He could probably hit for a better average if he were to try to slap the ball the other way. And I've heard Mark Teixeira before, former major leaguer, used to play with Braves, Angels, and Yankees, as a man who said, I get paid to hit home runs. I'm gonna try to pull the ball and hit it over the fence, and if I try to take a single, that's not gonna help my team as much as me hitting a home run. Yes, a couple singles will be taken away from the shift, me pulling the ball into it, but overall, I'm still gonna get my numbers. The 40 home runs, the 100 RBIs, and Joey Gallo has completely bought into this approach, and it's showing year in and year out. This man is a legit home run hitter. He probably wouldn't be a good batting average hitter in general, with pitchers throwing 97 miles an hour on most fastballs nowadays, with nastier stuff than ever. It's much harder to put the ball in play in general. So strikeouts are definitely going up in the game, but he doesn't care if he strikes out, because he knows that when he puts the ball in play, that ball is going a very long way. And I'm intrigued in his way of looking at baseball. It's not a singular way you have to play the game. Everybody has different strengths, and his strength is his strength. He literally just hits the ball as hard as he can, and I like the way he attacks each at bat. That's all I have for today. Let me know how you think about the whole slugger versus slapping the pitch the other way scenario. If you were a power hitter, would you think it would be more beneficial to sacrifice some of your power to try to get more hits, or bail and wail and try to hit the ball as hard as you can, as far as you can? I believe it depends on the situation in the game, but overall, I feel that you should always play to your strengths. At the end of the day, most pitchers are trying to get you out with their best pitch, so you should go up there trying to have your best swings, and Joey Gallo always does. Alrighty guys, talk to you later.